and I'm going to do it. Today is, I just joked about not dating it. Here I am dating it. It's the 30th. Truly, truly, I say to you, whoever believes in me will also do the works that I do, and greater works than these will he do, because I am going to the Father. John chapter 14, verse 12, ESV. Greater works. When Jesus was on the earth, he did so many amazing things, and he said he would also do these and even greater works that requires a great faith. You may think you don't have much faith, but it's in you. You just have to make that decision to believe not in what you can do, but in what our God can do through you. On your own, you may be limited. You don't have the qualifications, the resources, or the influence. That's okay. You're not on your own. You and God are a majority. When He breathes on your life, you will go places you've never show out in your life. Take the limits of God is for you. I love that. I love that. God isn't limited. Our minds are. And if we only allow God to exist in our mind, He somehow takes on these limits. I'm laughing like a retainer. Excuse me. Okay, that's great. That sounds crazier. Judge yourself. Judge your mother. Or judge no one at all. How about that? Judge no one. My point. And this. All right. Greater works. I look at Jesus as an example. I look at biblical story as an example for what we had the capacity to do, good and bad, right? Like, I talked about the story of David, and I've been still learning and reading on my own time, but in that context, it's like David became king. We all had a capacity to become king. We had the capacity and ability to slay a Goliath. We also have the ability to sleep with a Bathsheba when we're at the top of the throne. Like we had the ability to have her husband murdered, and think that we are righteous in that decision, right? We have the ability to not see the Saul, not see the jealousy, not see the envy around us. We have the ability. We're all in that space, and I think that that's somewhat just a reminder to me. Like, I have the capacity to do great works because of the God I am blessed to serve, and that I'm blessed to know. And that's an individual experience. Like, I don't have to have you in agreement with what I decide to do. I don't have to have anybody in agreement with my faith. And that is one thing that I think is very telling and kind of strange these days. It's like, you can't talk about, people had the freedom to talk about whatever they want to talk about. And I had somebody comment that they were like, if your faith is so grounded, you should be solid as a rock. Yeah, I'm solid as a rock. That's why I'm posting this. That's why you in my comment section telling me what I can and can't do, because I'm solid as a rock. I'm not moving in my decisions or my understandings because of what I'm posting here. But I think it's so many people that think that they get to say things without having somebody respond to them. And oftentimes when I'm responding, I'm not even in this space where it's like I'm aggressive. I'm curious. Oftentimes I have more understanding than people would like to believe I do. I just am not one of them you gonna walk in my space and leave winning. Some people are so used to winning conversations. I don't look at it as a win or loss. If somebody tells me that the sky is black, I'm going to be curious. The sky is black? Why do you think that? Well, it's because of this. Okay, it's because of all those reasons. Oh, okay, I think it's blue. Well, you gotta think. No, I actually don't gotta think it, and you don't gotta think it's blue. I think it's blue, and I can actually see some blue. I see blue. You have black. Like, you stand on black all day. I'm cool on that. Like, I'm not sitting here I'm not converting nobody to yoga. I'm not trying to convert you to Christianity. I'm not trying to convert you to anything. I'm just sharing what I love. That's why the conversation is the joys we are given are best when shared. The way you came about that joy is for you to know only. But I think right now is so many people that I've come across that want to prove the reality of that spirituality. It's like, bro, like, you got to God. Just tell us what the joys are. But the truth is, a lot of people don't have joy. They're still in this limbo of confusion. That's what I came to see in my own experience. Like, as much as I was knowing and I'm like, oh, I do these yoga practices, I still was confused. So it's got to be something else. Maybe it's the thing I started with. Maybe it's those prayers that I said when I was in a mental health hospital. Maybe it is something else to this story, especially if everybody comes back to the same name and everybody is so hell-bent on proving that it's not Jesus. Everybody just brings up, no, it can't be Jesus. No, but like, okay, bro, but like, what if it is though? And like, why is a tarot lady talking about Christ? Why is the astrologist talking about Christ? Why is Islam coming back to, why is everybody trying to refute and just like, no, it's not Jesus. It's not Jesus. Like, bet, like, I'm cool. I've read yoga books that mention Jesus. I'm like, why are they talking about Jesus in yoga? What, huh? So again, you have what you have, but know for yourself, study to show thyself approved. Don't just know your scripture because you went in a church building, and don't refuse to read the Bible because you hated your family members for how they treated you because they called themselves Christians and they didn't show themselves to be it. Don't not read things or study things because of your hatred for somebody else or your pain and your fear and your insecurity about your life decisions. It don't matter what you came from. You can still study God. You have that right. I love that when I was in high school, I read the autobiography of Malcolm X. When he's in prison, he reads the Bible. He reads the Quran. He reads these texts. And he was in prison for robbery. And he was pimping slightly, quote unquote. I won't say he was pimping, but he had women with him that he wasn't living so righteous. He was doing drugs consistently. He was hating himself. He's hating the white man. He speaks on the destruction he lived as. And he didn't let that stop him from learning and studying and coming to his own conclusions. That's really what I'm for. Think critically. Don't come to me like, oh, I want to know what you know. No, I want to know what you know. I want you to go find something out and come tell me. I want you to go read something. I want you to read All About Love and have your own ideas about All About Love. And we have a conversation. We share ideas about it. And maybe we get to some new points in our lives. Maybe you hate All About Love. Maybe you think this isn't the way. Maybe you don't like Bell Hooks as an author. Maybe you have all of these opinions that I would be curious to know. But we can't get to that point if we don't have those conversations, or we think we're not allowed to have those conversations, or nobody wants to read the book at all because they don't like the person who wrote it. Like, it's confusing. It's like, I've never seen so many people, and I have, but I think it's so funny to see so many people who will say what somebody shouldn't do, and they haven't done it. You haven't read the Bible and you tell people why you don't believe in it? You haven't even read it. Like, that's crazy. You haven't read a book and you're telling somebody with your whole chest why they shouldn't read it because of somebody who claimed to read it and is telling you that your life doesn't matter. I'm being called demonic by people who haven't read the verses that I throw back at them. And it's not that I'm throwing verses back at them to prove a point or be better, but I'm telling it to say, like, yo, some of y'all are the Pharisees. Some of y'all are the ones who chose Jesus to be put on the cross rather than Barnabas. Some of y'all actually are the issue. And y'all go to church and y'all profess to be Christians. Y'all actually are the problem. Y'all actually are not coming into your father's house and flipping the tables and making sure there's no ATM machine, there's no extra theatrical performance that takes you so far away from the word that people that are supposed to be coming to Christ with you don't want to come to Christ. Like, this is literally what we're living in. Confusion, false prophets, falsehoods, lies. I'm young. I don't want to be in, like, and I'm not gonna say I don't want to be in this position, but I sit with it like I'm a young guy trying to discover these things. I'm looking up to elders like, where do I go? And they're like, I don't know. That's crazy. That I can't go to elders at times. And that's the truth of life. It comes a point where you got to go within, and we all gonna get to that point, especially in these times, because we've been so far out. We've all externalized at some point and realized we are without because we haven't gone within. We're lacking because of all of this time we spend without, not within. That was my little diatribe, man. I'm gonna read all about love, maybe on a separate live. I might go to Instagram for a second because they need some love too. They need to know this good word on a Tuesday. One day made better, as many days made greater. I'm uplifting you to be in a world that cares. If I keep it to myself, I think that's unfair. The joys we are given are best when shared. Visionaries never die, legends survive. Through the seas we so daily, we get better with time. I'm wishing you peace, prosperity, and many blessings. I don't even know why my voice is this raggedy this morning, but I got my water. Water. I said water, or I don't know. I say water. I drink water. I drink water. Water is one more. Water. Yeah, give me a glass of water. I love traveling because I hear different people's accents. That's my last little thought. But yeah, enjoy your day. Be blessed. We're built in private, blessed in public. Whether they like it or love it, the process is trusted. Stay